So, Chelsea, are they in the title race for the Premier League? Well, if you ask their manager, Enzo Maresca, he will emphatically say no. However, the fact is that they're currently in second place, and they're only 2 points behind Liverpool, albeit Liverpool have a game in hand, and for me, Liverpool are still the heavy title favourites for sure. But you have to factor Chelsea into the conversation here. If you're including Arsenal in the title race, which personally I am, just about, I think they're just about in there, you have to include Chelsea. Chelsea are 4 points ahead of Arsenal. And who would have seen this coming? That first game of the season, where Chelsea had all kinds of controversies and chaoses behind the scenes. Raheem Sterling was wanting to leave the club. He'd been, in his own words, kind of disrespected by the manager Maresca. And he had Man City coming in as 4-time Premier League champions in a row. Record in that regard. Nobody in English football has ever managed that. And Man City, even though I think it was 2-0 or 2-1, Man City absolutely played Chelsea off the park. It was like a cat toying with a mouse. It was men against boys. However, those young Chelsea lads, those young boys, are really coming into their own. The squad depth that we all mocked at the start of the season, and rightfully so, it was ridiculous. They have managed to try and trim that down into a manageable squad size now, and it's been, for me, an advantage in a sense, because they've obviously loaned out a lot of players, which has helped. They've sold a few players too, here and there, but now they have two defined squads. They've got the Cup team, who play in the Conference League, the League Cup, and will probably play in the FA Cup as well. And you got the first team that plays in the Premier League. And Maresca, to his credit, has kept that squad happy. I'm not really hearing about any kind of controversies off the field, aside from Mikhailo Mudryk, but that is not Maresca's fault, I don't think. And so, he failed a drugs test recently, as it's been revealed, but that can happen to anybody. We don't know the full details of that already. I've already gone into an in-depth look about what could happen to Mudryk as a result of that, of course. But yeah, when it comes to Chelsea this season, they've been excellent. They really have been. Like I said, just 2 points behind Liverpool in the title race. They've absolutely breezed through the Conference League, which I know people are like, oh, the Conference League, it's no big deal. It's like the Papa John's Trophy or something of Europe. It's not. It's more than that. But they've still won all 5 of their games, and I imagine they'll make it 6 out of 6 when they play Shamrock Rovers on Thursday night as well. And they're the only team that are through to the round of 16 automatically as well in any of the European competitions, I believe, at the moment. So yeah, fair play to Chelsea. Like I said, they've just breezed through it. The squad is really playing well. They're playing some good stuff under Maresca. It's no real surprise that he's a chip off the Pep Guardiola block, really, when it comes to this. He's one of the disciples of Guardiola, just like Mikel Arteta is at Arsenal as well. And they're playing some good stuff. It's entertaining football. I really enjoy watching them at the end of the day, and it's successful football as well. And I honestly think, this is just a bit of a tangent here, but I honestly think if Maresca stayed at Liverpool, Leicester, I think he really would have struggled, because to play that kind of football in a division where you're not one of the best teams, I don't know if it would work, to be honest. But the fact is that they're doing really well, because Chelsea are one of the best teams in English football right now. They are one of the big six, as it were, in terms of the finances and everything at the club. They are absolutely up there, and of course they struggled for a long time. And I don't want to take anything away from Maresca, because I think he's done an incredible job. But you have to also look at the form that Chelsea are in towards the back end of last season. Maurizio had a really tough time to life at Chelsea for similar reasons as to why I thought Maresca might have taken a while to get used to the squad and get them firing on all cylinders. Just a lot of unsettledness, a lot of instability, really, in the squad. But he's taken the form that Poch was in at the end of last season and absolutely run with it, and it's really working. And the results recently have been absolutely excellent. They managed to beat Astana 3-1 away in the Conference League on an absolutely frozen pitch in very difficult conditions. They incredibly came back against Tottenham 4-3. They smashed a Southampton away from home. I suppose that's not that much of an achievement. Spurs managed to win 5-0, but they beat Aston Villa 3-0 at home. Again, another win against Brentford at home, despite being down to 10 men. Brentford have had an excellent season, albeit not away from home, but at home they've been incredible. When was the last time that Chelsea actually lost a game of football? Well, it was 2-0 against Newcastle in the EFL Cup, but to go back to the last time they lost a game of football in the Premier League, it was away to Liverpool, and that was only by 2-1. Liverpool having an unbelievable season, and the only team having a better season so far than Chelsea. So I think Chelsea are absolutely in the title race. Do I think they will win the title? I'd have to say no. If I had to put money on it, I would go for Liverpool. But I think I mean, people might say, oh, they're too reliant on Cole Palmer, and I understand that. And Cole Palmer has been absolutely borderline world class, if not outright world class, for this last season and a half with Chelsea. He really has been. A lot of people are saying if he gets suspended or he gets injured, then Chelsea are in a world of hurt. And I don't disagree entirely with that. I do think Chelsea are more than that. If you put them up against a top team like a Liverpool or an Arsenal or even a Man City, if they get back in form eventually, then maybe without Cole Palmer they'll struggle. Maybe that's true. But against most of the teams they're going to face, they can beat them without Cole Palmer. I think they can. They've got some excellent players. Noni Madueke, someone who I really, really rate highly, to be honest. He's another great one. And Nicholas Jackson, he's getting into form. He's showing that he's got some real talent, that kid. So I think there's a real chance for him. They're in the conversation. I don't think they'll do it personally. I think it's too much of a step this season. But Maresca's talking about, I'm sure he said earlier in the season that in 2, 3, 4 seasons time, Chelsea will become the dominant force in English football. With how young, they have the youngest squad in the Premier League as well. That's something else to factor in. With how young the team is, the fact that they probably shouldn't have to sell too many of them. Although maybe with PSR they might have to. They've bought a lot of players in, of course, but their low wages will help and their long contracts will also help. So, 2, 3, 4 seasons down the line, Chelsea could become the new Manchester City. I see nothing to disagree with that personally, but I do disagree with the fact that he says he's not out of the title race. I feel like he's saying that to manage expectations on himself, because when he took the job, I imagine that Todd Bowley and the board at Chelsea would have said, right, we need top 4 this season. Can you do it? Yes, I can. And if he gets top 4, it's a massive success. Get Chelsea back into the Champions League for the first time since, when is it? It's been 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's been a little while. They won the Champions League in 2021, and they've done not a lot in that competition since. So they want to get back to that. I think they'll do it this season. I think top 4 Chelsea comfortably will be there. I think they'll probably finish 3rd behind Arsenal personally. I think Arsenal will beat them in the long run through the season, but hell, they're in 2nd place and looking good for it at the moment. But yeah, Chelsea fans, am I being too optimistic? Let us know in the comments below. Do you think you're in the title race, or do you agree with Enzo Maresca, your manager? I want to hear your thoughts. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well, and we'll see you soon, guys. Have a good one.